Hello, welcome back to Disco Elysium. It's me, A. Prustian, and I want to take a quick look here. Did I get something last time? Yeah, jacket that I wanted to. Oh my god. The Koroyev jacket improves logic. The swanky checkered jacket flatters your form in a way that makes you feel the fun kind of serious. It's really nice, roomy pockets, too. Huh. It's not the worst looking thing, but I don't really need help with logic. So I'm going to keep this long coat on. And I think is that everything I can do in my room right now? What's this?
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror, a straight rate.
So I shaved. I'd forgot. Oh my god, I'd forgotten. My portrait. Oh my god. Okay. Inside you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. I have my own shack. I'm very excited about that. The thing I'm less excited about and very nervous about is asking her...
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I'm gonna ask, and hopefully she knows enough that if it's a bad deal for her, she won't sign.
Eh? What's this about? Come now, I can't read all this scribble. Tell me what it says.
Everett wants to turn part of the village into a little youth center.
Huh. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. Have you asked Lillian about this? I won't even consider signing till I know she's on board.
Perfect. Wait, where can I find her?
She's right over there. The dark-haired woman, leaning over the railing.
She points towards the jetty. Alright, I'll go ask her first.
Yes, you do that. Can't let fat Mr. Clare down now, can you?
Well, maybe.
She is not impressed by a cop running errands for a local bigwig. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it either. And if it weren't my gun... I don't like him holding my gun hostage. Let's see though. Take that. What are these doing in the fish? What are they? I can't even tell. Oh! They're boots. Cavalry boots. Let's take a look at those, because my shoe situation is fairly dire. Oh. Good old calf-length cavalry boots. Mount that horse and ride into the night. The heel comes in handy too. It definitely makes you a good 5 centimeters taller, but could be that it's also make you sharper, more perceptive to your surroundings, now that you've gained a new perspective. Sure, I'll put those on. Because my other boots have that negative. And I have something else to interact with. Oh, right, I found a postcard a while ago. Oh no, my badge. Right. Even more important. Thick blue piece of acrylic covering a thin leaf of paper with the officer's name and rank on it. Next to the writing, you see a man stare back at you. A younger version of you, already disintegrating inside, but still presentable on the outside. Okay, let's talk to her.
Hi, officer.
A woman in the raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword and a scabbard hangs from her hip. That is surprising.
Anything I can help you with?
That depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
The wind rattles her earrings. Okay. I've got questions. The first is, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
Indeed.
Indeed. You're always confused as to your whereabouts.
I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can help.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
The missing cryptozoologist.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
People who look for imaginary animals.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen? I haven't heard about those.
Two odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
The like?
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men burning rhinos. You get the picture.
Oh, you're getting it. And it is gorgeous.
Is it? Where did they go?
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
That's it. I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
I was asked to get your signature.
Were you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the Union building?
Everett's planning to turn some of the village into a youth center.
What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that...
Her voice trails off.
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
Thought what exactly?
That Everett and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess Union members have children too.
She shakes her head.
And those members have a vote when electing the head of the local chapter.
I'm really nervous about them signing these papers. I'm gonna say don't.
Aye, if you say so. Probably better that way. I mean, who likes construction noise?
Okay, and I can change my mind and come back to that. The whole thing makes me nervous that I don't trust Everett with it. Okay, what do you do around here?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
Is that enough to make a living?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her.
Okay, so let's not say. I never thought the sea brought anything particularly interesting. Maybe I'll just say interesting. What have you found?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like the thing is, like, all of these, like, the human bodies and the mine, like, this would have been, I assume, in the past enough not to matter. Maybe the mine is still around. I know Harry could use drugs, but I'm not interested. I'm gonna ask about the mine. I am curious about it. The RCM could use a mine. Where is it?
Well, the RCM has to wait for another one, because some army folks came by, took it in the middle of the bay and blew it up. The blast was surprisingly timid for such a huge spiky thing.
She spits over the railing.
Spiky must have been a naval contact mine.
Interesting. Okay, nice sword. Point at the saber on her hip. Does it come with a story?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
She smiles at her own joke. It is imposing. Nod.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Why do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
I'm not going to ask to borrow her sword, even though I desperately want to have my own sword. I'm not going to take her sword. Um, I've listen. Ooh, that's fraught, right? I mean, I'll ask. Why don't more women arm themselves? I mean, not everyone has the skill to use something like that.
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
Behold. Point to the expression on your face. Interesting. You know what? I'm gonna go with that. Her eyes meet yours and suddenly she starts laughing. It's hoarse, as if she hasn't laughed in a while. Do you like it?
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
Okay, I'm gonna ask if I can borrow the sword.
No, I'm afraid not.
Oh, thank goodness.
Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. It would put me in an early grave.
Alright, so where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
Oh no. Gone where?
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
Oh. Say no more. Wait for her to continue.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later.
Damn.
Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Time really is the best cure for sorrow, isn't it? I mean, maybe. I'll say that, though.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glances at the village where 2 little kids are playing with what look like rocks.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk.
Okay.
Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Huh. You see. Oh. Kim's presence makes it awkward, and you don't know a good spot yet. Okay, I am not going to try that. Take it that's your skiff?
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Sunny days. Put your hand in the rain.
Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the rain streaming down the yellow belly of the boat.
When do you think the boat will be ready?
In time, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she will be ready.
Waves wash the sand. A skiff moves across the mirror-smooth sea, far away from here. A lone passenger, a fast sloop in the distance, white sails. My prediction, it will be at least 2 days.
Okay, we'll be seeing you. Interesting. The boat is floating freely in the water, unmoored. The planks creak beneath your weight. The ladder leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp. That's delightful. Okay. For half a second I was like, oh, I clicked on that. Is it going to have me climb the ladder down? No, that's good. Hey, some money. Money I don't have to give to guards. Ha! I'm so glad. Okay. Been this way. Oh, these are the kids. Hello, children.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
You must be Lillian's twins.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mum.
Explains the other one, tongue still lolling out of his mouth. Yeah, I already said that.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Wow, so intellectually stimulating.
Okay. Now, as an identical twin myself, like, I have heard this so many times in my life. So the tables turn. I get to be the one who says it.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
The other one says, yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again.
You're bad with kids.
The lieutenant remarks with evident glee. I am, yes.
Don't worry, everyone is. How about we do some police work now? We're not getting anything here.
Yeah, he looks at the little scruffians, then at you. Alright, bye kids, take care. Okay, let's see what we got. Something here? Take that bottle. Absolutely. Hard to see the details. The colors, all warm and welcoming, are cozy though. Is this the washerwoman's house? Take all. What was that? Ruffed goose. I just stole their taxidermy. Items. Okay, now I have a grouse. Okay, the dead body of a grouse stuffed with some unknown material. From a distance, it might just pass off as the real thing. The bird itself looks extremely ruffled and slightly grumpy.
Hello, mister.
A young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She looks at you with frank curiosity.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Aha. Let's see. I heard there was a girl here who has armored gloves. Is that you?
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
She looks alarmed.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
Mm-hmm. Where are the gloves now?
I hid them. The twins were going to take them. They're stupid.
She lifts her stuffed toy up and looks into its one remaining eye, as though searching for confirmation.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
He enunciates the last 2 words carefully.
Oh.
She doesn't seem to understand, but the lieutenant's tone has conveyed to her the important part.
They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
Okay. Are you Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
She gazes at you with her big eyes. Yes, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
And the twins outside are your brothers?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside.
She frowns.
They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
They look identical, right? I said the same thing.
They look identical.
She slowly processes the word, then snickers with laughter. What's this?
It's a grouse.
She yelps, smiling broadly.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skewer you broke.
Oh, that's a thought. I don't know what getting on Gart's good side does for me now, but, can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
Alright. What's the thing you're holding?
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
She holds the fuzzy beast up to demonstrate.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Oh, okay. Well, pleased to meet you, Lambie.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy.
Not as fuzzy as I used to be. Alright, goodbye.
Bye!
The girl's large, curious eyes remain fixed on you. That's a delight. She's a delight. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. Okay. I met the girl in the fishing village. Okay, let's see. A flower trough where nothing really grows. Maybe in spring. Okay, let's go find her sand castle. Is this the sand castle? Do we
Weather
think?
has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
Reach into the catacombs and pull out the shiny object.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Nice.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
Yeah, I won't get all of it since I let the boots go, but that's okay. I am fine with that. Okay, so I have a couple points if I need to level up something at some point. And I got these gloves. +2 interfacing. It's a strictly better upgrade to my gardening gloves. I should read their thing though. Clenching and unclenching your fist has never been so fun. The tiny ceramic plates make a lovely clicking sound when your fingers move. The gloves are a bit sandy, but the grip is phenomenal. I look a little bit of a dork.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably.
I'm surprised Kim isn't like, why are you wearing those?
Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
Let's see. I feel like Harry is not the most responsible person and wants to be flamboyant, but like I cannot get behind like, oh, a cop should be in future armor. Like, fuck that noise. So I'll just say I'll be responsible for
The
it.
hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
You know, I think I may say this. I've gone very heavily into the thinky aspects for Harry, so this is the long sought after enemy technology. I can't just enjoy it, I must study it.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Right. Boy. That's right, the other mercenaries probably do have their own armor. And it might come down to a bit of a knockdown fight. I mean, I kind of hope not. See that yellow thing? Oh, okay, I'll get there. Rust-eaten letters read Mazout. Rear tire of a motor carriage adorns the reeds. Quick travel unlocked. Church. Oh, I must have found the church. It must be up above me. Okay. I clicked on the yellow, and it really did want me to be back this way. Alright. Looking back at you from the rust-colored water. You. Alright, that makes sense. Okay, let's go up here. That's a Noland Vinked Sink, an unsuccessful model. But up here must be the church somewhere? A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. Huh. Let me look at my map. You are here. Yeah, I'm at the church. Okay, so there's AC. The backyard wall, the Martinez waterfront. Okay, so I see I can fast travel now. Oh, nice. That's awesome. A dead phone, a smashed receiver, like someone hung up too hard.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
I don't have anyone to call, though. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome. Yes, I will take those bottles.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Take a closer look.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Why not?
It's a guano-encrusted jacket, and you're already carrying around enough as it is.
I mean, he's got a good point. Okay. But also I could take it. The filthy jacket. Sorry, Kim. Let's see. It's an interactable thing. The filthy rag has been at the mercy of the elements for quite some time. It streaks with seagull shit and abnormally stiff from God knows what natural processes. Can't even begin to tell what brand it is.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
How did it get so disgusting?
It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it?
Ooh, I don't know.
Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even try. Seriously.
Okay, I'm gonna don't think about
Good
it
choice.
because...
The less you think about the jacket, the better.
Okay, I'm gonna put it away. Maybe later I'll interact with it, but like, I'm at 1 morale. A makeshift roots. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. The tarp will keep out neither rain nor snow nor wind. Yeah, it's not very good. This is a trash bin. A coin-operated weighing machine hasn't been used for a decade. Ooh, new glasses. Mega Beano's. Mega Beano's prescription lenses. Oh my god. +2 encyclopedia. Discover your inner Beano. -1 perception. Nausea-inducing health glasses. This idiotic idea were square and beige plastic frames anyways. Beige is a color that does not look good on anyone. Not to mention that seeing the world through these exceedingly thick lenses feels almost nauseating. Well, yeah, if it's not your prescription. And I got a new thought that I can consider about this. It's a thought. you know? I mean, it's literal. Maybe I'll unlock a new spot. I haven't done that in a while. Bow collector, white morning, magnesium-based life form. Oh, there's also these guys. 7 hour. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. I am really curious about those guys. Okay. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. I already got stuff from that. Okay. Ooh, I saw something out behind it. If there's anything else up here. Okay. More change. Nice. I might be able... There were a couple more things at the pawn shop I wanted to buy. And now that I'm not spending all my money on living quarters, I might be able to afford some other stuff. Okay. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. Oh, this is where I just... Okay, this is where I was. Different way to go. Got it.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Try to see inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
Lieutenant, can you see?
No. I won't even try. You know...
He takes his glasses off. That's true.
I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
Huh. Can you still shoot, though?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
I mean, I guess we saw that earlier when we were shooting down the body. Don't worry, Mikhail, you'll learn all about it. Let's see what this is first.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
The lieutenant raises the collar of his bomber jacket. Okay, let's see what these guys have to say.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kisaragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
The lieutenant nods. Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
What was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
I feel like I just got called out. Okay.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes to shield himself from the pattering rain. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Look at the building looming over you.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
Huh, I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? Look under your feet.
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
I'm not going to turn to the child and say that. I will say tape computers, right?
Tape computers.
He nods, wind tousling his suit jacket. What did the revolutionaries do with these advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bombessier d'Insolent. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
He looks at his son, who starts giggling, his face hidden behind the book.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How do these tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
Oh boy.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje.
What?
It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center?
Thank you.
He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Okay, the Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? Paul Ackerman, Keith and Guy Juiced? What are we talking about?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Turn to Lieutenant Kim. Is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
He clears his throat. I love the look, like he says it like it's the most normal thing in the world.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
The Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did they destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind.
But of course, what else?
I think I'm just gonna say great. This almost feels like if I hadn't been talking to Joyce. I feel weird asking people for money. Okay, thanks for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
Yeah. Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty. The fence blocks the path. No way on from here. Okay. Oh, but there was a box. I will take that change. Okay. Tiny cages carefully constructed. Who are you?
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys.
Uh-huh.
Not out of this jam.
AC. It is my dude I am looking for.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting.
Kim.
It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Kim, what are you doing?
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Moral, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Yeah, you don't seem too happy to see the RCN.
Oh, no. It's all right. I'm just busy. What's this about?
He glances at the cylinder. Lynna sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Hey, of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice water lock.
Oh, you know what? I hadn't even connected that Harry's motor carriage is what broke the lock. I'm just gonna say it's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it, and I will withhold the whole story.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work.
Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Makes it so difficult to find.
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
Sort of specialized techniques is it using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
Like, it feels like real things taken too far. Like, real animals have, you know, camouflaging patterns and stuff that make it difficult to see them, or, you know, like fake eyes or that kind of thing. But this, it feels like he's talking about it in a much less real way.
But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
How big is it?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you. Why are you so interested in the stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. Alright, well, what have you discovered so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
No one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
He holds up an index finger.
Just out of curiosity, If there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says briskly enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena said there's been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He
what?
means asexual reproduction.
Ah, okay, I was like,
The
I've heard
females
that.
of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
It's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
He points at the cage of mesh and wiring on the ground. Lena designed the traps?
Yes.
He says with some pride. How do they work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out.
I mean, that makes sense.
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
A carnivorous stick insect? Seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Alright, what will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
She seemed pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south, where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let
Yes.
Lena down.
He yells in response.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena. Come on, you're doing this for yourself, not her. I'll say I didn't know it was so important.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting,
Oh.
on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
She's seen it.
Really? She didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now,
Another cough into his fist this time. Maybe you could go back to the whirling warm-up, come back to check the traps later?
No, no, no. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
I could go for some trap setting.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Chaos is my method, I am its sign. I'll just say cryptozoology and detective work are very similar.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near.
Okay.
Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
I hope my map or something records this, because I'm not going to remember these. South on the peninsula by the boathouses. Land's End in the northeast.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them,
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
The pursuit of knowledge is its own justification.
Is it?
He doesn't look too convinced, but the small shrug indicates, why not? What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
What if I encounter it in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Oh god.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Okay, I'll take the middle ground here. Lay it on me.
Wise choice.
He douses you with the odd-smelling spray and then gives you a satisfied nod.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. Okay,
Right.
let's go.
Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Which was honestly my goal.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt. What about his eager-to-leave
Oh my
friend Gary
goodness.
there? Talk to him too, perhaps.
Okay. Wait, how did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
His eyes narrow. Have you ever discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven to be real?
Yes, The Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
I don't even know what to say. That's a small number of discoveries.
Do you know what the success rate in pharmacological research is? 0.00003% of bioreactive agents have reproducibly beneficial effects. Yet science persists in the search for medicine, as we persist in our search for new species.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Why not just be a real zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
It does seem like a lot of wishful thinking.
My methods are the same as those of other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence, and I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Has something truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close.
Interesting. Something for later, this close call.
What kind of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
Think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
Okay.
Yes?
I think that's... In fact, I'm over time. So we'll stop poor Kim's spinning around, and we'll call that good for today, and I'll catch y'all the next time. Bye!